Oh. Hello YouTube, Charlie Tango 1 here. Just messing around again with bits and pieces as I do, and I've been looking on the internet and I came across these little Swedish stoves called an Svea 123, and it's a Svea 123 R. And I've got one of them here, and it turned up today from America. I've got 3 of them on order actually, and from the States. And looking at the videos on YouTube, it appears I don't think they know exactly what it is they're selling, because I've had to contact the sellers and tell them that they're actually advertising the wrong stove. So this is a stove, and this is in a filthy state, but I say I've spent 4 hours actually cleaning this up, but well worth it. I just thought it's a lovely little stove, and they were made, let's see where we are, they were made in the 1950s. Yeah, I'll zoom that in a minute. They were made in the 1950s. And they're called a Svea 123 and a 123R. Now the 123R is quite simple to recognise. If you look at this valve, I'm going to have to bring this in, aren't I? If you look at level, if you look at this valve, you can see that it's not at a right angle, it's actually pointing downwards. Now that is what you call the Svea 123, and then they've done an update on one. Later on they've done an update, but what they've done is they used the old tanks, so people were thinking, oh, it's a 123, but it's got a right angled valve on it. Now the difference being, these ones here, they don't have a needle like in a tilly lamp. Sometimes you turn it back, the needle pops up through the jet, doesn't it, to clear the jet. Well, this doesn't have that. You get a little pricker, and you actually have to prick it out if it clogs up. So anyway, that's that one, but the other one you turn fully anti-clockwise until it don't go no further, and then when you look at the jet you can see the little needle pick up come through to clear the jet, and that is the difference between them. And I've had to contact these YouTubers in America and inform them that that is the case. This is the difference between the 123 and the 123R. Excuse me, I've got a throat infection actually. Anyway, this, oh, how can I say, this one turned up, oh, it was in a worse state than that. I mean, it was black, absolutely black, and well, yeah, it was as black as that rubber mallet. And I don't know what it is they use in America, excuse me, but it's sooty and it stinks. And this on these they actually tell you can either use, made in Sweden, benzoline, petrol, essence or benzene. Well, I've decided to use petrol. So the beauty with these is you don't have to pump these. You've got a safety valve here, so if this gets too much pressure in here, it will just release the pressure through this little valve. If I keep it in the picture, this little valve here. So, as I say, I've spent all this time cleaning this thing up. It was absolutely black. So I thought, well, while I'm at it, I'll strip it right down. So I took the flame spreader off. I cleaned the jet out. I am sorry about this cough, but it really is aggravating me. I don't know where it is now. I cleaned the jet out, But the best thing to clean a jet out with is, if you've got a wire brush, you know, the long ones, and if you can get hold of pair pliers and pull them out quite a bit before cutting it off, they make ideal jet uncloggers. And I mean, you can put them in a little bit of flat bit of metal, squash it together, and you've got yourself a little pricker. That's what they're called. Anyway, so I've cleaned this one up, bit of a job, but it was that bad. I won't exaggerate, you know. I mean, they're a lovely little thing, like, you know. I mean, it was terrible, but these were rusty and everything. But I've actually cleaned them right up, and this is like the windbreak. I actually had to put it, would you believe, in brick acid. I'd soaked it in brick acid for a little while, and then used a brush on it. I lifted most of it off, and then what I've done is I put it on the old linishing wheel in the other shed, buffed it up, and I'm quite pleased with how it's come up. I think it's come up quite well actually. It's not bad. So anyway, I've filled it up. You don't have to overfill them. I think it's only about here somewhere. That you fill them up, which is what I've done. And you just simply, the idea of this key is, usually this key is hooked and goes around the valve. You can hook it around the valve if you want, but you have to poke it through here. You have to poke it through here so that you can pick up the valve. And what I decided to do was to fix it on the outside of this. So I've done that, and you'll find that these lugs here, there's 3 of them, 1, 2, 3, they line up with the little lugs that's on here. You've got 1, where are we, 2, and there's a 3rd one round here. And you line the one up, any one of them, near these 3 large holes. Yes, I mean, yeah. So you just literally put it down there, give it a little turn like that, and now you can put your key in there and pick it up with your key. So that's not a problem at all. But a word of warning: do not leave this key on the valve. Within a few seconds it gets red hot, and it will actually burn your skin if you try to touch it. So always take it off the valve once you've got it going. But what I say is, what I've done is I've actually so I've contacted them, and they weren't aware of this, the Americans. They weren't aware that there was 2 models, but they use, as I say, they use the old tank. They use the old tank for the 123R. Well, anyway, I'll clean this all up. I've undone this, and if you do decide to get one and strip it right down, here's a little tip for you. On where this valve is here, where it's done up, it's usually on the right opposite the number 1, 2, 3. It's opposite the number 1. So if you remember that it's right opposite that number 1, where it says 1, 2, 3, you'll be about right, because that's where that little nipple is, which will coincide with one of these large holes in the windbreak. So just a little thing worth bearing in mind. But as I say, I've cleaned it right down. I've took this right off. I've used, the wick wasn't too bad because they run on a wick. You don't pump these, they run on pressure, vapour. So what it does is, when the stem warms up, which is very quick, it creates a vapour in there. Now that wick goes from the bottom, it goes right up to the underneath the flame belly, the flame bell here, it goes right up there. Well, I've taken it out and had a look at it. It seems all okay. I did move the wick about a bit, but if you want to replace the wick, you can use ordinary string like this. Ordinary string, cotton string. You need about 4 pieces, about so long each. 4 pieces about that length, which is what, 6 inches. something like that, 4 pieces like that, and you put yourself a little piece of wire on there. I can show you that in a later video when I actually strip one down, because I've got another 2 turning up, I don't know when. But I just thought I'd concentrate on getting this one sorted out just to see how we go. Now, these were made in the 1950s. They're very old stoves. That's why I've got them, and that's why I got 3 from the States. Now over there, I don't think they know what they're selling. But the 123R, as I say, is the later one, and it's got the little jet clearer in it, and you just turn this anti-clockwise as far as it'll go, and you can see the little needle pop up out of the jet. That's a later version, but this is the original early version. You can't mistake it, because that tap is slanting downwards. Well, I've got 3 of them coming, and it's worth messing about there, because I'll be quite honest, for what I bought these for, I've been looking about, and I've bought these, I think one for 15, one for £20 or something, and I think the other one was about £25. I don't know which ones are which now. Alright, so you've got to spend a bit of time cleaning them up, but I've got plenty of time. They're worth over £100. £100 each, these little things. That's how rare they are. So if any of you want to start snapping them up, you know, that's down to you. But I've ordered the 3 I want. Anyway, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to have a go and see if this one fires up. Now that I've checked it right over and put it all back together. What you do need is, I put in this recess here, I put some meths, and people try to sorry, just bear with me a minute. Oh, is that sticking? Right, I'll wipe that off, I don't want that going everywhere. What people tend to do is they tend to light this reservoir here, just use a bit of meths in there, and then they try to open the valve. This is sticking, this little thing, I don't know why, but only what it is. They try to open this valve instead of waiting for it to make sure it's warmed up enough. So what I do is I light it once. Well, I'm going to have that over here so I can work that. I light it once, and that, in fact, what I think I'll do is I'll turn the lights off so that you can see. And I let it go out. Am I in there? Yeah. I let it go out, and then I fill the reservoir with a bit of meths again, light it, and then when it's gone out, immediately it's gone out, just put a flame to the flame spreader bell at the top here. That just warms this shaft up, which starts to vaporise the petrol. And as I say, as soon as it's gone out, I shall just put a little bit more in there. Starting to bubble in there at the moment. There we go. Oh, that's a nice one, wasn't it, eh? Yeah, that'll soon burn out. The idea is it warms up when it's running. It warms the tank up, and in doing so, that also vaporises the petrol. And what I should do is, just before this goes out, I think I'll turn this tap. But if you rush it, all it's going to do is just flare up. Right, now it's gone out, I can get hold of that, And I'll just turn this if it goes. Let's have a look. Here goes nothing. There we go. They make a little bit of a noise. Take the key off. But they can boil up a kettle very quick. And I've got two little kettles. I've got two of them in China. 0.06, which I think I know is something like half a litre or something. And then because that was a bit small, in fact it's about the size of this tank base. Because it was a bit smaller, I went and ordered the other one and that turned up today. This is going alright, isn't it? Let's turn it up and see if it does roar a bit more, I think. Well, there she goes, sounds like an aeroplane, doesn't it? But I don't know if you can see that, can you? Let's shut the shed. You've got the idea of the flame then. Oh, it's glowing on the top there. Now is that hot or not? Oh, hello, dear. And you can turn these right down. You've got more control over this flame. You don't want to go much lower than that. You're starting to get a bit of a yellow flame now. But you've got more control over this flame than what you have on the 123R, because the 123 is too up and down. It's either full on or full off, like, you know. It's very hard to control it. Let's just knock this back a little bit now. But there you go. I was quite impressed with that. So let's. Warning, the tank does get hot, as I just found out. But that key, now I didn't leave that key on there at all, but you know what, there's quite a bit of warmth on that key. And it's very easy to, there you go, off she goes. Just like that. Now believe it or not, that top flame spreader is brass, but that was glowing like a good one there. Oh, let's take that off before it gets too hot again. But as I say, you just plonk these on here like this and away goes your cooking. Brilliant little thing, I think. And these here, oh, let's get it out. I've tightened them up in there. There's a bit slack, so what I've done is I just tightened them, which is easy to do just by nipping up where these go through. And if these get a little bit too bad, they got, you know, some little grooves on them there. I don't know if this is going to come out, so let's put the light back on, shall we? Yeah, you got some little grooves here. Oh dear, I'll get it right in a minute. There we go. That's just I think just to grip the. But as you can see, if you lose them or they're too bad, just get yourself a nail, one of those. You know, like I'll tell you what would be ideal. One of those big them nails you use for them big rivets. Just knock the rivet off and you're left with that. Just bend it. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. There you go. So there it is. The little Svea 123 stove. As I say, that one took me this one took me what, 4 hours. I started at about 11 o'clock, finished at about 4 or 5 hours. But then I was only taking my time. Like, you know, it's just to me, it's just a little project I wanted to do. and if I fancy taking that long, it's not heavy really, got a bit of petrol in it. It's the same as one of those Coleman little, but smaller than that. So you do get these, if they're complete. You got this comes with it, an alloy cup and a little cup handle, and if it's this particular model you should get a little pricker to come to clear the jet out. But when this is all put together, this goes on the top a la so, but I'm not going to use this. As I say, it's alloy, and I'm moving away from alloy, cooking stuff in alloy, aluminium. You're getting an aftertaste of so many stories going around about the byproducts from it, like when you're cooking, you know, poisonous this and damage that. So I've gone all to stainless steel stuff now, you know, me little my little pots, frying pans, and little, I'm using stainless steel stuff now. And as I say, people are trying to cut back on weight, but I think they're all coming around to my way of thinking that you can cut back on weight, but those Trangia stoves and what have you, they're all alloy. But I should be putting my stainless steel kettle in there. I can use the stand. I've got the Trangia stove to go in there, or I can use this. So I'm not really bothered. As I say, I can use plenty of. I've got plenty of stainless stuff I can use now. But I will get out with my mate Russ at some time. I've tried to get hold of him, but I think he's been away or he's been poorly. Anyway, that's my little bit on that stove there. I'm waiting to see the other one come through. But if you are interested in getting one, it's the it's spelt SVER. No, it's not. SVEA. Svea 123. That's this model. If you want the 123R, it's not a problem, it's just an afterthought they come out with one, so that, because people were losing the little pricker to unblock the jet. That's, I think, what it was all about. But that come out quite some time later. So there we go. That's Charlie Hanger 1 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the video and my little chat. I do rabbit, as you know. Catch you later.